Hey traders, and welcome back to IFX. So now let's talk about strategy number 3 using the EA. So now what we're looking for is M or W formations using the EA, and we're going to be using the M15 reversal block either on 21 or 34 settings. We're going to be using the higher time frame block filter, but we're going to be using the same time frame, which is M15 trend block on 60. You can use a higher time frame H1 or H4 if you would like to. That is up to you. Then we're going to use the M15 RSI above or below 50 levels, so the RSI trend, okay, very important, not the RSI overextended. And then the daily candle or weekly candle. So very simple strategy that we're going to be using with the EA. And what is it that we're going to be using? So for example, this is the reversal block, the one in gray, and this is the trend block. So what does it need to happen first? We need to make sure that we have a trend block happening first. So what is the market doing is it goes up and it goes back down again, and it gives me an entry to the upside, pretty much a W formation right here. So what we're looking for in here is a market doing something like this, right? Market goes up, goes down, and this was one of the blocks, and then eventually it went up. It went down a little bit, but you know, we would have not gotten out yet. So what we're looking for in here is that trend block happens first, we get a reversal block to the downside, then we're waiting for a reversal block going to the upside in the same direction at this trend block. Okay, so and what we need to make sure is pretty much that's the first criteria, right? The second one is that we get at the time of the entry the RSI candle or the RSI on M15 is above 50. That would be the criteria. And then also at the time we should be going either with the daily candle. You could choose that as an option. If not, you don't have to. It's really up to you, because sometimes we do get the M or W formations, and at the time of the entry the daily candle is not going in our direction. But you know, that's something that you should really see if it works or not, you know, if you like it or not. So this would have been an entry. It went up, unfortunately it came back down again, but eventually that's what we were looking for, right? A bigger leg to the upside. And the same thing going to, you know, an M formation, which I'm trying to look in here, but I don't really see one right now. But oh, here's one. So this is the block. The trend block happens first. We get a block going to the upside, then the market, it goes back up again, and it gives us another reversal block, right? The only thing is that at the time of the block happening, the RSI was now below 50. Okay, I did get an entry because this block went, the market went just a tiny higher, but I did get an entry right over here, which I actually showed it on the Telegram channel, and my entry was right over here. Okay, so we did get a block before, which was right over here. Okay, so the entry would have been actually here, but I entered on the retest because I was looking at it, and then I entered here. Okay, and the market went up a little bit, and then it eventually went back down. So this was an entry that I showed an example before of an M formation. So now, but if you know, this would have been an entry that would have happened if the market would have been something like this, where the candle is green, then it would have not made an entry. Why? Because we need the RSI to be below 50, so that's why it didn't work out. But you know, our take profit should have been close to yesterday's low, which it went down up to there, and then it bounced off from there. Okay, so that is pretty much the strategy in here with the M or W formation. It's very simple. So what we're looking for, again, the trend block to happen first. We're not gonna enter. Well, this would have been an entry before because it went up. This would have been strategy number 1 because we were above yesterday's high, right? It crossed it and it came back down, and this would have been one entry right here. But this is strategy number 1. If you want to follow strategy number 3, which is M or W formation, is meaning that we need to wait for the block to happen first, and then pretty much we want to be able to see what the market does to give us a second entry going in the same block direction. Okay, so it's very, very, very interesting. Right over here, this was a nice, beautiful entry, which I want to show you something. This is strategy number 1. We went below yesterday's low, okay? So we met that criteria. The second criteria is, well, actually, it would have not entered either, because at the time of the entry, there are 2 things that didn't meet. One, at the time, we got this block right over here. This would have been the entry. At the time of the entry, we need to be above this fractal, this top fractal, and also the daily candle needed to be bullish. Okay, so unfortunately that would have not an entry in here, but it would have been a great entry if I was trading manually. If the EA, and if I was looking at this pair, if the EA would have not given it to me, I would have considered entering manually. Why? Because after this candle, pretty much we met the criteria, and then it went to meet, well, beautifully this yesterday's high. So we had a nice target, move from here for this entry to here. So I would have entered manually. But if we're relying on the EA, then it would have not entered. But pretty much this is the strategy number 1 criteria. It would have been great, but it would have not taken it. So that's pretty much with strategy number 3, which is M or W formations using the reversal block entries. Okay, using as a higher time frame blocks, pretty much the block right over here that we have on the filter number 1. This is filter number 7, and then this is the other filter that we have already looked at. So that's pretty much it. It's very, very simple. The M or W formation, if you're trading it manually, you can also do so. But if you're leaving the EA to trade for you, then you can do that. Let's say if we say the criteria, this would have been an entry, but it would have never entered for me because we were looking for bullish blocks that goes along with the trend block. Okay, so that's why the EA, we train it, or we set it up that for things that we're looking for. Okay, so very simple. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Hopefully I'm not confusing you, but this is very simple strategies that you can let the EA work for you. And that's it. So I'll see you on the final strategy, which is the next following video.